Hello and welcome to Press Back to continue talking on the couch. This week's theme is Easter and all of the hopping
Yay!
Easter bunnies. Remember, you can check out our other channels. So we've got the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitch, which we're currently live streaming on, the Twitter, the Discord, if you want to follow our Discord or join us on Discord rather. It's discord.gg/TGS39DNUB3. Remember to look at our YouTube, our Blue Sky, as I said, TikTok. Remember to check out our TikTok. We've got all of our shorts and stuff on there. All of the links to all of our different social media is below the shorts that we post. And you can also do the most important thing, which is donate to us on Streamlabs at streamlabs.com/. Press back to continue 3/tip. Don't know why there's a 3. Still haven't edited it. Not going to edit it. There's always going to be a 3 there. Right, Easter,
Loans.
Sporka, Easter. We're going to start us off. We're going to do the origins
Why?
of
Why do
Easter.
we? Why do we have two Discord links?
The one on the donate link, so the one on the Streamlabs link underneath, is the incorrect one. So PDX2 is the wrong one. I just haven't edited it out because to edit it out, I have to go all the way into Streamlabs and all that shit, and it's just a pain in the ass to do it. And I don't want to mess up the actual link to donate because that's an important one. I'm scared of it, basically.
Was just curious.
Yeah. Anyway, Easter time. Woo, Easter.
Yeah.
Right, so we're going to do the origins of Easter. We're going to do some traditions around Easter and maybe some funny stories around Easter. And then we're going to do some good old tech news. We've had some big stories this week. Big stories.
Big stories.
Yeah, big. The best stories. The best in the world. Yeah. Anyway, right, so Easter. Many people around the world celebrate Easter. Most of them aren't actually Christian. And diabetics tend to become very cynical around Easter.
Yep.
Because we spend if you get to the point of Easter and you wonder where your friend's gone that's diabetic, he's on the toilet.
Or hibernating. Because he doesn't like diabetic chocolate.
Or he's had an Easter egg, his blood sugars are too high and he's gone to hospital with DKA.
Yeah.
But most likely on the toilet. Because diabetes and Easter do not combine.
No, they don't.
You're on the chat, aren't you, Sporka?
Yeah.
Cool. You can send the reply for anybody listening to this. We live stream this on Twitch, so people may comment during the podcast. It's fine. Sporka will reply to them. I think the person commenting wants a hug from Sporka.
Oh, is there somebody commenting?
Yes, that looks like a little chicken that's putting its arms out for a hug.
Oh, no way.
Your chat's not working again, is it?
But I'm using it on my phone. It was working last week on my phone.
Do you want to refresh that bad boy then?
Yeah.
Sorry, viewers. We're just getting some technical difficulties because Sporka doesn't know about technology. I thought you were going to say dinosaur.
I done it to Savo.
Dinosaur. Rawr. Anyway, right. So, the origins of Easter. Now, believe it or not, did you know, Sporka, Easter has 2 origins.
Does it really, Lance?
It does. Really? It does. So, as we know, Jesus, you know the geezer that managed to walk on custard?
Yeah.
Well, it celebrates Easter from the resurrection of Jesus, which is basically why we have the egg, because it's new life. Jesus comes to life after being nailed to a cross. I mean, that's pretty impressive. Yes. I would want at least like a week's sleep after that. Or, you know what I'd do? I wouldn't walk out and start performing miracles. I'd probably go and see a doctor.
Yeah, just take a while, Take a minute.
Do you reckon there was a hole in the back of the cave? Like there was actually 2 entrances to the cave, and like they put Jesus in the cave, and then he just like strolled off, went to the local pub, come back, and he's like, "Oh shit, I better perform a miracle now." Just moved like a couple of rocks, walked out, and the 2 soldiers guarding the cave were like, "What the fuck?"
It's possible, Lance. It's quite possible.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So that was 3 days after Jesus died on his crucifix. He then came back to life to repent for our sins. And that's the Christianity version of the Easter. Jesus getting new life and rising from the dead. Just like the film. Do you reckon he came back as a zombie?
Maybe.
He could have, come out going, sins. Because he wanted to eat everyone's sins, you said. Anyway,
instead of brains, I see what you've done there. That's pretty good, Lance. It's pretty
Play on
good.
word, play on word. Right, the other route of it, which I'm not 100%, I don't know much about this route, but it's actually pagan,
Yeah,
just like
I knew
most
that
of
it was based
Christianity.
on a pagan religion or a pagan fest feast.
Most of Christianity seems to be pagan at some. Pretty sure
Yeah.
Christmas is pagan as well at some point. The name Easter is likely deprived. Yeah, it's a deprived time of year. Is likely derived from Estra or Ostara, an
Yeah.
Anglo-Saxon goddess of spring, and our favourite recurring topic apparently on this podcast.
Fertility.
It's fertility. Everything's always going back to fertility, isn't it?
Yep.
Who was honoured in April. So that's the other thing. So around that end of March, beginning of April, so when the spring's like coming in, we have that festival where the rabbits all come out. Easter bunny rabbits.
Yep. hmm
They all
hmm
come out and go. No, yeah. So that's where it basically comes from. Um, it's actually given me traditions underneath as well. You know.
Oh, is it? Do you
Yeah.
know
Oh. Oh.
the timing of Easter actually, Lance, is quite interesting. The Council of Nicaea
That.
fixed Easter to the first Sunday after the first full moon following the spring equinox, linked to
Yeah.
both the lunar cycle of Passover and the vernal equinox.
Yeah.
Could they
That's
not
obviously
just
true.
went
Yeah.
like, yeah, let's just have it the first Sunday of April, like?
Well, if you think back when Easter started, and I did look at this earlier, um, hang on, bear with me. Well, I'm guessing it started when Jesus come back to life, but when did Easter first begin? If you think back then, we didn't really have like the Georgian calendar. Well, we did have the Georgian calendar. We didn't have like proper calendars and stuff. So yeah, the mid first century. Every fucking time,
Oh,
just drop my vape. It just
nice,
flew out my
nice.
hand. Yeah, first
How many
century,
is that
first,
this week?
second century. So that's quite a long time ago, Sporka.
It is,
Would
it
you
is.
believe it?
Well, the
And I don't,
Council of Nicaea was in 325 AD.
yeah. So I don't think at that point people were getting their like monthly, where you turn the calendar over or you rip the page. I don't think they were getting their monthly women's chest or puppies.
They might have been.
Yeah, there could have been actually. Yeah, knowing humanity, we found a way.
Yep.
We found a way for it. Just change the window and look at the different neighbours. Did you know, Sporker, that in ancient Greece, women used to walk around topless,
I did know that, Lance.
but it was frowned upon to look at them?
Avert your eyes, women
Yeah,
incoming.
basically. Look away. But yeah, if the woman was married and it was different to when she was single and it was frowned upon to. Anyway, yeah. Um, God, I've gone off the page I was looking at now because of you.
Why? Because of me? I wasn't the one
Damn it,
talking about
Sporker.
women on topless in Greece.
Also, right, so there's also the Passover connection. Easter, believe it or not,
Yeah.
Easter is closely tied to the Jewish Passover. As crucifixion occurred during this period in many languages, the name for Easter is derived from the word Passover, e.g., pasture.
Yeah, and
Apparently, that's a Wikipedia link.
wouldn't that have been like the whole thing because Jesus was Jewish?
Well, we know Jesus was Jewish, but he started Christianity, didn't he?
Well, he
But
didn't.
well, around that time, but he did start Christianity.
He didn't.
Who started Christianity then?
The people who came after him after he was crucified started Christianity.
No, he started Christianity as the Son of God.
That's what they called him, but there was no Christianity religion before. I think Saint Peter invented Christianity. He was like the first
think
pope.
you're right. I think you're right. I think we're
It wasn't
saying
like
the
a
same
recognized.
thing,
It wasn't recognized as
yeah.
recognized as the first Christian, but it's post
Wasn't it?
death.
It was his 12 disciples, wasn't it, that started
Yeah,
Christianity after
they
his
created
death?
Well, only one of them was Peter.
Well, yeah. You sure they weren't all called Peter?
Yeah, it was like Peter, Paul, Mark, Luke, John,
Jim,
Judas. He was one. I don't think he didn't really get involved in the whole thing afterwards. It was a contentious point.
After the kind of the stabbing in the back incident and
Yeah,
selling
and
him out to the Romans.
what was it? 30 pieces of silver?
Say that again, sorry.
Was it 30 pieces of silver?
I can't remember.
That's
I
what
thought
he
it was
was
like
paid.
5.
He was paid to do it anyway. I know
How
that.
much silver was John? Now you've got to remember there was 2 Johns.
Yeah, it was John and John the Little or something, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was John the Baptist, and who was the other John?
I think it was like John the Little or something.
John the
Or
Little.
John the Lesser or something.
I'm just looking up how much he was paid. Let's have a look. Oh, it was Judas. Sorry, not John.
Was it Judas the Lesser then?
It was 30 Tyrian shekels, which was about 4 months of wages for a labourer.
Yeah, but I think they're like silver coins.
They
so
are silver. The shekels of silver, yeah.
30 pieces of silver was what he was paid.
And that was Judas. Not Jesus, Judas. But I'm sure there was 2 Johns. But anyway, I'm not googling the entire story.
Yeah, let's not just go Google the Bible.
We've got a podcast to do. But yeah, that's the origins of Easter, if anyone's wondering. So, but I hear you all screaming. Where does chocolate eggs come into it? Where does chocolate? I can tell you where. The government wants your taxes. That's why I cut now.
Commercialization.
Basically. Now, there is a reason for it, and it is on one of my things later on.
Okay. So
let's
why, Loanz? Why did the bunnies start laying eggs? That's what I want to know. They're mammals. They should be having little baby bunnies.
That ties into something I'm going to say later.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Traditions, Sporka. Traditions. Start us off.
Traditions, Loanz. I'm going to do some weird and funny traditions. Did you know, Loanz? Did you know? In Corfu in Greece, on Easter Saturdays, residents throw giant water-filled clay pots from their balconies, filling the streets with broken pottery to mark the start of spring.
Well, that just sounds wasteful to me.
There's nothing like marking the start of spring by sprinkling the ground with shards of fucking clay.
I know, but they didn't have tyres back then, did they?
Tyres? This happens now.
Yeah, but they would have started way back when, and...
Yeah. But why throw them out at all? Even worse, way back then, that they'd have sharp pieces of pottery on the ground and people walking around their bare feet. At least you've got shoes now.
That's true, actually. No, people wore sandals in Jesus this time.
Yeah, I know, but there's still going to be there's a much higher probability of you getting your feet shredded by pieces of broken pottery on the ground if you're wearing open-toed sandals.
All in my head, I'm thinking this was the time before health and safety. So, I'm pretty sure a lot of places will just say, well, if you're not looking where you're going, I can understand if the pottery hits somebody on the head. Then that's the person throwing it. Why did you throw it into a crowd? That's just fucking stupid. But if you're listening to all this pottery going off, first of all, you're going to go, maybe I should put something on my feet. Let's not walk around in bare feet. Second of all, you're going to go, I'm going to look where I step because there's broken clay everywhere. So if you're still getting your feet cut off, well, then natural selection needs to hurry the fuck up, doesn't it?
It is. I think that was the start of the Darwin Awards.
Someone fell over and it went through their eye.
Yep. The back of their brain.
But you know that somewhere, someone, they've got a partner. The husband's sitting at home with their wife or their girlfriend, and it's not a husband if it's the girlfriend, but they're sitting at home with their significant other. Let's go with that, their significant other. Because it could be 2 women, it could be 2 men, who knows? It's up to you. So they're sitting at home with their significant other, and one of them has just bought a really expensive vase or vase, however you want to pronounce it.
Yeah.
And it's sitting there, it's on their mantelpiece, and they're going, look how amazing that is. That's such a brilliant thing. And the other one's looking at their watch without paying any attention. And then the tradition starts, and they've just grabbed it and just lobbed it out the window. Just, you bollock. That's what you know that's going to have happened somewhere. Or the tradition started. They're running around the house frantically, going, "Shit, we need like a clay pot or something to throw, otherwise we're going to be cursed for life." They grab the nearest one, launch it. The significant other walks in and goes, "Where the fuck's me nan's ashes?" Geezer just launched them out the window. You know that's
Oops.
happened
Sorry
somewhere.
about that. Yeah.
Oh, there goes Nan. Yeah, and believe it or not, Sporka, if you're watching this, Sporka is wearing an Undertaker outfit as well.
Yeah, because it was related to the other podcast that we were supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I know. Basically, Sporka thought it was one podcast. He messaged me earlier and said, "Is it that one?" And I went, yeah, without really processing. And then at
And then
five
about
to eight, I went,
5.
"Oh, fuck, it's Easter." Yeah. It's only because I was thinking what Easter egg Mary wanted.
Yeah.
Shit. But
Giant
yeah,
buttons.
back to the point. Someone's just lobbed their nan out the window
Yeah.
by accident, and it's all over the road. The road sweeper's
Yeah.
on the way down.
So this is the tradition about pot throwing in Corfu. On Easter Saturday, residents throw giant pots filled with water outside, so the clay pots break into pottery on the ground to mark the start of spring.
I really like that. I love Corfu. I've been to Corfu, and it's such a beautiful place. I
Mm.
actually really like Corfu. I keep saying to Mary I want to go back there. Um, you know how Mary's like animals. She's just
Yeah.
obsessed with animals and stuff. Well, when we went to Corfu, she found a dog and helped it give birth
Oh, okay.
in Corfu. Yeah, but and then we got into an argument with a woman because there was kids throwing stones at a dog as well. And I went over and said, "Are these your kids?" And she was like, "No, no, 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 no." And then later I saw them all walking home with her,
Mm.
which is just stupid. But no, I love Corfu. That's where Mary got eaten actually as well.
Do you mean she got eaten?
I mean, she got, you know how I've got a terminal diabetes.
Yeah.
Well, when we went over there, we thought, oh, they're just going to go to me because my blood's really sweet. Because obviously
Oh,
diabetic sugar.
mosquitoes and stuff and midges they were
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
eating her.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then we woke up the first morning, and Mary was just absolutely covered, and I didn't have a single one on me.
Yeah. There was something about mosquitoes that they don't go for diabetics.
Insulin,
I can't remember.
maybe they
I
just
can't
don't like
remember what it
insulin.
is, but it's sort of we're naturally sort of immune. Well, yous are naturally immune. I'm not diabetic.
That's true. Booker is
Yeah.
no longer diabetic. He's,
No.
but yeah, Mary just got absolutely. It wasn't even like a little bite. It was there was hundreds. We did count them one morning, and I can't remember what how many it actually was. But no, Corfu is a really beautiful place. I really like it there, and I love ancient Greece as well.
Okay.
Anyway, right. I'm just looking through my stuff because I've got rid of the page by accident that I was
Well
going to
done, lads.
read off. Do you remember what the two stories I said were?
No.
I told you to right before this podcast.
Do you think I was paying attention to you?
Yes,
Hardly.
that's not very
Let me
nice.
see. Did you message me on Discord
No,
about it?
We said it actually to each other. Because there was a brilliant one that was really good.
Was it the witches one?
No, that's one for you. Ah, there we go. Right. One of them was the hair pie scramble,
Oh yeah.
which is an amazing tradition. So I'm just going to get the page up to actually to tell our lovely viewers a little bit more about it. So, right, this one is to do with rugby as well. So I'm actually surprised you didn't know about this one, Sporker, because you're a big rugby fan.
Yeah, but like just because you're a fan of something doesn't mean that you like are obsessed with it.
So, yeah, it's true. So the hair pie scramble now is can be used for as a keg of beer as well, and it takes 5 hours. So it's
Okay.
a big tradition, and basically two teams or two groups of people
Yeah.
contest each other in pits in Leicester to try and take control of a keg of beer, and they do it using a scrum. And
Okay, I thought you were going to
basically,
say they use pickaxes and like knives and stuff.
Well, no, they do get into the original tradition. They do get into a big fight. I'm trying to find somewhere that gives me a better description. But so if you want to know what Google says, it just says in Leicestershire, locals fight over a piece of hare pie and distribute traditional food. That's what
Okay.
Google says about it. But it's basically two groups of people just have this massive fight to control a keg of beer or a pie. Originally, the tradition was a pie because you didn't have kegs of beer hundreds of years ago.
What type of pie?
A hare pie,
Like
not
as
as in
in the rabbit?
yeah. Not as in not
Yeah,
as in
not
a
as in like a
follicle of hair.
fucking wig of
Someone's toupee in the middle of a pie.
like everybody gone. Oh, what you want us to fight over that? No thanks.
um,
Weirdos.
give that one a miss. But yeah, I would have been able to tell you that tradition much easier if I hadn't have got rid of the page.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
haven't had
yeah,
no
yeah.
traditions on. But no, it's a hare pie. The big fat rabbit,
Yeah.
and they fight over it to take control of the pie. But more locally now, because you can't really kill hares in England anymore. It's
Why
over a
not?
keg. It's a keg of beer. So basically, people went, we can't fight over hare pie. Right, we're getting wasted then, lads. Let's fight over that instead. Beer.
Why are you not allowed to kill hares in England?
I don't think they're classed as vermin anymore.
Well, probably not. But like cows aren't classed as vermin. You're allowed to kill them for food.
You know what? I can't argue with that.
Yeah, it's like, why can't they? Like they breed fucking millions of chickens every year to use as food. What's the difference
I
between that and a
genuinely
hare?
can't argue with that. It's right. You cannot shoot a hare on Christmas Day or Sundays. You
Okay,
can
but
shoot them on any other day of the week, though.
so it's fair game any other time
Yeah,
because it's
it's fair
game.
game.
Because
Games are
you
birds,
see
by
how
the way, not hares.
yeah, I know, but that's where the saying came from anyway as well. So it's not
um,
really that funny when you deep dive into it, is it?
mm,
God damn it! I ruined my own joke.
right, yeah. So but you also have to have a firearms license in England. So it's only really farmers
Obviously,
doing it, and they
yeah.
would still shoot them on a Sunday anyway, probably.
I'm sure there's somebody has like a farm that they're farming hares
Yeah,
to
probably. Yeah.
to like kill for food.
I don't. How would they know it's been shot on a Sunday?
Well, probably they'd hear the fucking gunshot and they'd come up and they go, "Who, who, who, who? What were you shooting at?" And I was like, nothing. The sky. It was a hare, wasn't it? No, it was a rabbit. Oh, damn it, it was a hare."
It's a bit. It was an obese rabbit. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Fat rabbit. Oh, your favorite person's messaging again? Dinosaur. Rawr. And yeah. But no, because what I mean is farmers are in a big field and they say, "Oh no, we shot a mole or something else, or we just put Daisy down."
Yeah.
They could say that quite easily. How would you know it got shot on a Sunday?
It's probably just out of respect, like that they don't shoot on a Sunday. It's a law, but it's probably not one of those enforced laws.
And what's the difference between a Saturday and a Sunday? Why have it? You
The
can't shoot it
spelling,
on a Sunday. Right.
because Sunday is like the rest day, because like it's the Sabbath and all that.
Give it a rest, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Sabbath for those people listening is basically church for normal Christians. It's a Catholic thing, Sabbath. Um, yeah, because not everybody knows what Sabbath is. If you're not Christian, you don't really know what Sabbath is, do you?
No,
Because it's a Catholic thing. The Protestants
except for
don't
maybe the
celebrate.
black one.
Well, Protestants don't have Sabbath. We just have church.
I don't think it's a sort of an old word anyway
Yeah,
for like Sunday. We don't
yeah.
celebrate the Sabbath over here either.
Do you know? I thought you did.
No,
Um,
no, we wouldn't call it that. Like we'd just say we're
uh,
going to mass or going to church as well. Like it's
yeah.
not.
Mass. That's another one actually. That's
Yeah,
over
that
and
would be
above going to
a
Sunday mass. We do say that
that's
one.
mostly what we'd call it over here. Would be
Yeah,
you're going to mass on Sunday, like.
yeah. But yeah. So basically, they fight over control of this hair pie, and they just kick the shit out of each other for 5 hours.
Cool.
That it's a big 5 hour fight. How is this not? How has somebody not turned this into a sporting event on Extreme Sport?
How is this not being televised?
You know what I mean? Like, just put some cameras in Leicester
Yeah,
and just watch them go, because there'll be some
just
funny shit in
brawling on
that.
the streets.
Yeah, it'd be amazing. And that
Yep.
they must have a lot of communal respect, because you never hear about towns being vandalised because of it. You don't hear the streets of Leicester were destroyed, do you? So they must keep it to like a field or something. And
Yeah, it's
like,
probably in like a ring or something or a marked out area.
yeah. Don't. And do you reckon there's like rivalry throughout the year where they don't really kick the shit out of each other throughout the year, and they just go, "You wait,
Oh, for sure,
you
for sure.
wait,
Yeah.
you are losing your teeth,
Mm.
my friend. And good luck eating that Easter egg, because you ain't chewing it." Right. Anyway, so yeah, that was the story about how once a
Pubic
year
hair
they,
pies.
they fight over hair pies to celebrate Easter for 5 hours straight. Sporky, your next one?
Okay, Lance, it's sprinkling in Hungary. Okay? Sprinkling. Men and
Okay.
boys traditionally throw buckets of water on women on Easter Monday, a ritual intended to grant beauty and health, but resulting in very wet women. I'll just leave that there for you.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. So basically, men and boys just basically start their own little wet t-shirt competition.
Yeah, that's what I had in my head as well. Uh, What the fuck?
Yeah, I know.
That
It's weird, isn't it?
that one's, is that Hungary that's in?
Yeah, hungry.
I'm trying to look it up, see if I can see it on my list. I want to know more about it, because it's hard to joke about something that you can't get your head around. Um, what's it called?
It's just sprinkling in Hungary on Easter Monday.
Hungary sprinkling Easter Monday. Let's have a. There's got to be more to it than that. So men and boys. Oh no. Okay. Right. It's a traditional Hungarian Easter Monday custom where men and boys visit women,
Yeah,
recite a poem, and
yeah,
sprinkle them with perfume or water to ensure beauty and fertility. This ritual, with pagan origins, pagan again, is
okay,
often rewarded with taking a piss, is often rewarded with painted eggs, chocolates, or food, with many people donning traditional folk customs.
yeah.
What? And apparently, right, for those of you who listened to our podcast in the past, chocolate makes females and males horny. That's
Yes, it
what it
does.
does. And we spoke about the chemical the other week, and I said to you, for the Olympics, you know, that acid that they inject into their PPs.
Yes,
Yeah.
hyaluronic acid.
Yeah. Moronic acid. Yeah, that's the one. Um, it it makes you horny, basically. That's what it does. It's an aphrodisiac.
Yeah.
And again, this one is historically this tradition symbolizes purification, healing, and fertility. It is believed to stop girls from wilting. What the actual?
Okay.
What?
Yep.
Yeah. And the way that they return this is by giving them a decorated egg.
No, that's nice. Here you go. You just soaked me with water. Here's an egg.
Well, it's water or perfume.
Yeah, I know, but just saying buckets of water sounds funnier, Lance.
Well, I suppose you wouldn't really fill up like a water balloon with perfume, would you? Because
No.
some dickhead's going blind if you did that.
Yeah.
And have you seen the price of perfume? I am not.
Yes, I have.
I bought Mary some Marc Jacobs honey perfume for something. I think it was Valentine's Day. I can't remember, or Christmas. All I know is it's fucking expensive.
Yep.
So yeah, chocolate or food. Yeah, that's. I just. It's the fact that they're visiting women. Is it any women?
I think so. But
Or
obviously, they're just gonna go with the good looking ones.
I just.
But you're
Like,
not gonna throw water on somebody's nan, are you?
what did they just like walk down the street with a hose pipe connected to like a bottle? Just find a woman and just soak her, because that's slightly perverted. because we anyone who's above the age of 18 or 21, depending on where you're looking, there's certain nightclubs that you can go into, and at some point they're gonna have a wet t-shirt competition. I've
Yeah.
been to them. I've been to wet t-shirt competitions. I tried to enter, but they said no. There wasn't that type of bar. I'm sure you would have seen a wet t-shirt competition in your life, Sporka.
I think like I see my first wet t-shirt competition when I was about 12.
Yeah. So yeah, we all know
Just
what
when you're
they
on
are.
holidays in like Mallorca or something like, or in
My,
Ibiza,
I
and it's
was
just
at
like,
I was at uni, and I just went to Dirty Sanchez with her actually. Yeah, and wet t-shirt competition just randomly started. But anyway, so why then turn it into a tradition down the street where like teenage boys are allowed to soak a woman?
because it's just a thing that you do, lads. It's probably a respectful thing.
And who's the dickhead that's turned up and started reciting a poem? No one's going to do that, are they?
No, they're not.
That's just this whole thing has too many questions and too many whys. Why is
Did
this
you say too
allowed?
many wives?
Yeah. Might add a Z in there at the end as well. I don't get. It says eggs, chocolates, or food. A chocolate and eggs not food.
No.
Are we giving
Health
people
and safety
plastic eggs and
regulations.
rubber chocolate?
Yeah. Health and safety regulations.
Yeah, we're throwing basically somebody's eating all the chocolate off a Kinder Surprise and just giving it as a
Mm.
present. It's a shitty toy. There you go. I've had the good bit. Yeah, I've got to get my page back up now with my traditions. I hate having to Google your shit.
Ah.
Well, you can keep talking while I get my thing back up.
Okay. So yeah. Um. What would you like me to talk about?
Well,
Panic.
I I am
It's
going
like
to.
I always, anytime that somebody always says that, you always think of like in Wayne's World, where Garth gets left in the studio, in the recording studio by himself.
Yeah,
You- uh,
I'm just looking at some. Yeah, that's an Easter egg hunt. I've lost my traditions now. Where the feck has that gone? If I press back on that page, am I going to get my... Nope, takes me to the home page. Cool. Right, I'm just going to go there. What the feck is
I'm
that? Oh, that's accidents. Oh, there's a good one. So, traditions.
I'm
We
glad you
didn't...
had this well researched before the
I do.
podcast
I was
ends.
getting them back up, Sporka.
Yep.
Yeah, if anyone does want to let us know. So, in France, Sporka. In France.
In France.
Your favourite place in the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
I
in
even know French words.
Sacre Bleu.
Petit pain, petit pois, baguette.
Anyway, in Bisseries, chefs. I don't know how to pronounce that town. Bisseries,
I think
Bisseries, Besseries.
Bessiviers. You have to say, if you say it with a French accent, it's fine.
I can't really do a French accent when I'm saying actual French words.
Just start going, oh, no, 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 no.
I can't do French. In Besseries or Besseries, but
Yeah.
yeah, chefs make a 15,000 egg omelette
Yeah.
on Easter Monday in the town square. How big must their frying pan be?
It says a giant pan. It says it right there.
It doesn't. It just says,
It
mate.
says on my page, it says a giant pan.
Mine doesn't. Mine literally just says in that town, chefs make a 15,000 egg omelette on Easter Monday in the town square.
Mm.
Easter egg. I'm going to finish this podcast and I'm just going to find all these pages that have disappeared. They're all just going to pop up, aren't they? Easter egg. Yeah. So the the omelette
Yeah.
in Besseres, France, is a renowned Easter tradition where a brotherhood cooks a massive omelette using over 15,000 eggs to feed. I like this, to feed thousands on Easter Mondays. That is amazing. We all should do that. That is incredible. That would be the biggest like communal gathering ever. That would be a
In
huge
fairness,
party.
though, I'd normally have a 3 egg omelette.
Thanks, though.
Just an omelette. Like if I was making an omelette for like my tea or whatever, it would be a 3 egg omelette.
I never really had omelette on Easter. I'd normally go
Not
with
on
like
Easter,
Easter
just
food.
any day of the week. If I was having an omelette, I'd have a 3 egg omelette.
I used to have about
So that would
6
be
eggs
enough.
in my
So that
omelette.
would be enough omelette for like fucking 5,000 people.
I normally have like 4 eggs, but yeah, because if I'm making me and Mary an omelette, I'll use 8 eggs
Yeah.
on
It
average.
depends
Sometimes,
on what you're having with
yeah.
the omelette as well. Like I'd always
No,
have like
I normally just have
chips.
toast, just like an omelette
I'd
on
have like
toast or something.
chips or something with. And it depends
Anyway,
on what you
yeah.
put in it as well. What do they put in it? Does it give the ingredients for it? Or
I'm
is it
just
just like a
having.
plain egg omelette?
I'm just having. Well, it says this free, so it's free. You don't have to pay. This is amazing. I
Oh,
love this.
nice.
This is so brilliant for like homeless people and things. Um, this free community-driven event features a 13-foot pan,
Okay. Didn't know
parades, and
pans had feet.
yeah. It's Peter Pan's feet. Um, feet a 13-foot fry. That's mad. The size of their cooker. Parades and originates from a legend about Napoleon Bonaparte enjoying a giant omelette in the town.
Huh.
I'm just seeing if the giant omelette is made using 15,000 fresh eggs. Can't be having them mouldy ones.
Yeah.
Uh,
No free range either. Just fresh.
no, oh god, yeah. I I've never eaten caged hen eggs. I won't do it. Um,
You
two
would have done
pounds.
when you were younger, Lance, because they didn't fucking exist as free range eggs when we were
Yeah, but
younger.
like now, if I go shopping, I will not buy caged hen eggs, and I'm not. There are sometimes when they say that they're free range and they're just not, like they're in a shit little thing. But I'm not going into that.
No.
Yeah. So two pounds of salt, which considering there's
Okay.
15,000 eggs, that's
Not
not
too
that
much
much
salt.
salt really.
No.
Uh,
Per egg, it's quite a small amount of salt.
yeah, 1 pound of pepper, which again isn't
Okay.
that much,
That's not much at all.
and plenty of fat.
Like
They're gonna have to expand on
five
that one. I'm guessing that's oil.
500 kilos of fucking diced ham.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm guessing it's oil
And
because
yeah,
where
it
it says
probably is
plenty
to
of
like
fat.
grease the
Yeah.
or
Uh,
like butter to grease the pan or something like.
yeah. Distributed free to spectators. So that's all that's in it. So there's no like mushrooms and stuff.
Yeah.
It is just like a huge egg omelette. Oh,
Ham,
hang on.
ham, mushroom, and cheese. That's the ultimate.
It's
Not for
known
you,
for.
obviously, because you're not ham eater.
I'm just looking at what it's known for being soft. No shit. It's an
An
omelette.
omelette, soft omelette. Wow.
um,
What will they think of next?
I know. I don't think I've ever like bit into an omelette and gone, oh shit, my teeth, it's too hard. Um, creamy and pale. It's a fucking omelette. Unless
Yep.
they've burnt it, it's gonna be pale. So yeah, it's cooked in butter over medium to low heat, constantly stirred to create small curds.
Okay.
Cool. That's. I really like
So they
that
don't
story.
flip it then now.
Uh, Folded into a cigar or envelope shape while still runny inside. Can you at least cook your egg? So I'm guessing that
No,
no,
that's
there's no
the
flipping.
way a lot of people do it. They fold their omelette over halfway through.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have a runny omelette.
No, you
Uh,
still cook it until it's done. Like,
yeah. But oh, no, wouldn't have no. Oh, that'd make me heave a little bit. No.
yeah.
Um. No, that's completely thrown my mind now. I no longer like this tradition. Fuck this tradition. You're all dickheads. Um. No.
Bloody French.
No, I do. I think that's a really good tradition. 'Cause I'm guessing by the time it gets to you, it's cooked itself inside. But
No, that's what I'm saying. Like when you fold an omelette, like that is a method of cooking omelets that you fold it like halfway through when
yeah,
it's still runny, and then you cook the whole thing through then as a folded omelette.
yeah. I think that's such a good community like story that
Yeah.
I reckon that should be an international thing. Just all get together and have a massive omelette. I've said to you before, if there'd be no wars if everybody just sat down and had a cup of tea.
There wouldn't be.
No, you
Or a
don't
pint.
talk about the war when drinking this tea. You just all have a cup of tea because you
Yep.
can't not start a conversation during a cup of tea. And you all make friends drinking a cup of tea. Seriously, everyone listening, right? Next time, go to a cafe, have a cup of tea, sit at your table next to somebody, have a cup of tea, and see if you can do it all in complete silence. Not
You
going to
wouldn't be
happen.
able to. Not
No.
going to happen. No.
There'd be no wars if we all just sat down and had a bloody cup of tea. I think that's such an English thing to say, isn't it?
Would you
and
would
Irish,
you like a
actually.
little bonus fact, Lance?
Go on.
All right. In Russia, there's a tradition of a butter lamb. So it's a table ornament that's made completely from butter in the shape of a lamb.
What happens when it gets
So
warm?
table decoration, middle of the table. I don't think it's ever warm in Russia, Lance.
Of course it is.
Not at this time of the year. It's not.
Oh, yeah, I suppose, actually. I don't know.
and Easter generally falls around the same time of the year.
What is the highest temperature in Russia in... I'm not going
At
to say...
Easter.
Yeah, I'm going to put at Easter because I don't want to put in March or April because it'll go either side of the...
Yeah.
23.2 degrees.
Yeah, but it could be like in certain parts of the world, Russia. Like
in Moscow, it hit 20.3 degrees last year, followed by 23.2 degrees shortly afterwards. St. Petersburg, 19.6 degrees.
yeah, but they're all further south than where we live.
Well, Moscow's further south than where we live.
I reckon.
I don't think it is.
Well, Dublin is on the line of latitude 53 degrees north. So what's Moscow?
What's further south? Moscow or Dublin? Let's find out. You're not far off, you know. So Dublin's what, 53.35 degrees north?
Yeah, it's in around 53 degrees north.
Moscow is 55.75 degrees further north.
Yeah. So further south then.
I said you're not far off. It is technically further south, yeah.
Yeah, told you.
So it's
And it's
colder.
inland.
So it's colder in Dublin than it is in Moscow.
Yeah. Well, like it was only 8 degrees today in Dublin.
So Moscow must have been about 70 then.
Yeah, probably.
So again, back to my original point. What happens when the butter melts?
They put it on toast.
It's true. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, you could scrape
Maybe
it.
it's put like on a bed of ice or something. I don't know.
Right. Let's do some jokes, Sporka.
Yeah, let's do some jokes.
Let's do. I've got to get my jokes back up now, you dick. I've lost so much of the stuff that I researched before this. Right, is it that one? Nope, I found my traditions page, Sporka. Generally just haven't. Right, go on then, Sporka. You start us off with your joke.
Okay. Why doesn't Jesus walk on water anymore?
Because he's run out of custard.
No, because of the holes in his feet.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
What do you call an unconventional Easter egg?
I don't know.
Eccentric. Go on.
Okay. Jesus walks into a bar, hands the innkeeper a few nails, and says, "Excuse me, sir, would you be able to put me up for the night?"
Wow. I like that one.
Yeah.
Anyone who knows the story of Jesus, you'd understand that
Yeah.
one. How many Easter eggs can you fit in an empty basket?
I don't know.
Only one. After that, it's not empty anymore.
Oh, crafty,
Yeah.
crafty.
Go on.
Why shouldn't you tell an Easter egg a joke?
I don't know.
It might crack up.
Why does the Easter Bunny have such good complexion?
I don't know.
He exfoliates. Go on, do one more.
One more? Ah.
No, we're going to do some more afterwards. I'm looking at the time
Okay.
and for another reason. But yeah, go on.
What kind of music do bunnies listen to?
I don't know. What type of music does bunnies
Hip
listen
hop.
to? Say that again.
Hip hop.
Hip hop.
Yeah, because bunnies hop.
Oh
They're
yeah,
hip hop.
bunnies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you
Yeah.
get it?
You know,
It's not as funny when you have to explain it, Lance.
I genuinely didn't understand that at the beginning. It just flew straight over my head. That did. Why does the East? Hang on, I've done that one. What sports are eggs? What sports are eggs the best at?
I don't know.
Running.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, yeah. Right, there was a page I just wanted to quickly go through. Right, so in the beginning, because we're going to do one quick story each, and I just want to link it back to what we said at the very beginning, where you said about why the bunnies lay eggs.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a really old tradition, and I'm just going to basically during Easter, children used to get really confused about the Easter bunny laying eggs and why is a rabbit delivering chicken eggs.
Yeah.
Chocolate and eggs was never actually part of Easter. We commercialized it with chocolate eggs. Eggs symbolizes new life.
Yeah.
And we used to, long time ago in England, we used to give each other chicken eggs as a celebration
Okay.
for Easter because we didn't have chocolate and stuff. So we used to actually give people chicken eggs
Yeah.
as instead of chocolate eggs. Like we didn't
And I
have
used to
them.
decorate them as well.
Yeah, yeah. So that's where I'm getting to that. We used to give we used to
All
give
right.
people chicken eggs in the local villages and stuff. You would then paint the eggs with whatever you've got, and you would decorate them, and you'd hang them up for ceremony. A lot of people boiled them before they like decorated them, but you'd hang them up for ceremonial purposes. As time went on, we evolved it into chocolate eggs and started giving chocolate out instead. So that's why children are now confused of why we give chocolate eggs and why the bunnies lay eggs and stuff. And there was a case in a school, and I think it was in America. Don't hold me to that because I think it was in America where basically a child made this massive tantrum and stuff because he got
Yeah.
really confused of why rabbits were laying eggs.
But why
But
does the bunny deliver the eggs?
the because the bunny does alright. There is something
You
to
see,
do
they're
with the
just.
rabbit. Hang on, I need to get this back up now. What does the Easter bunny have to do with Easter? Right, there is a reason for this. There we go. Yeah. The Easter bunny acts as a symbolic bringer of gifts representing fertility, new life, and the arrival of spring. So, because of the time of year, that's why we use a bunny.
Okay.
And that's why he's delivering eggs because we used to deliver eggs at this time of year. So instead, it's just the Easter bunny doing it, and then the egg evolved into a chocolate egg.
Okay.
And rabbits, remember what the egg is for? New life.
Yeah.
Rabbits are really good at making babies.
They're notorious for their rapid breeding.
Yeah, basically. So that's where the rabbit
I'm
comes into
I'm
it.
notorious for my rapid breeding when I run up the stairs.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Of course, yeah.
Did you get it? Did
Yeah,
you get
yeah,
it?
yeah. I do.
Rapid breathing.
Yeah,
Is a
yeah,
bit out of breath.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
you didn't
yeah.
get it. It's not
Right.
funny when you have to explain it.
I did get it. I just don't really have a sense of humour.
Yeah, that's true.
Come on, a couple more jokes, then we'll get on to the tech news.
Oh, now you want my jokes.
It's because I wanted to link this in before we moved on too far, which we have got to the end of the podcast almost.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
have
we
to
have.
do it now or never, but that's why children get confused, and it's why it was a story where a child got confused behind it. There was a lot
Yeah.
more I was going to say about Easter, but we spent so long on the traditions. I generally forgot to look at the time and move the podcast on.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
right, go on, Sporky, your joke.
Why is the bunny so sad?
Why is the buddy so fat, did you say?
Sad.
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 Bad.
Sad, as in upset,
Sad.
unhappy.
Yeah, sad. I said
Yes.
sad, and you said repeated something else. Go on.
No, I didn't. Because he was having a bad hair day.
Ha 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 ha. Did you hear about the most beautifully decorated eggs?
No.
They were to die for. That's funny. Go on.
What do you call a sleeping egg?
I don't know. What do you call a sleeping egg?
An exhausted.
uh, why was the Easter Bunny hired for the job?
I don't know.
He had the most experience.
Oh.
Go on.
How does the Easter Bunny travel?
Hop rail?
No, by hairplane.
Why don't chicks play baseball, as in chickens?
I don't know.
Too many foul balls. Why is that an Easter joke? That's not an Easter joke. Go on.
You get Easter chicks. Oh, that's all my
Yeah,
jokes, Lance.
go on. Carry on.
Okay. If zombie Jesus comes out of his cave at Easter and sees his shadow, there will be 2 more
I
weeks
said a
of winter.
zombie earlier. Go on, carry on.
Yep. That's it.
Okay.
And that's
Cool.
all the jokes I have.
What did the kids do when their treats were all hidden on Easter morning?
Found them and ate them.
They demanded an explanation. How does an Easter chick bake a cake?
I don't know.
From scratch. I don't understand that joke. Why are Easter bunnies more tired when? Why are Easter bunnies more tired when Easter's in April? Because they've just finished a long march. So, yeah. Last one. What would you get if you crossed the Easter bunny with a famous French general?
Napoleon Hopapart.
So close. Napoleon Bonaparte.
Ah.
You were so close. You're so close. Right, shall we move on to the tech news of the week?
To the news?
To the news. Let me get my article back up because I've sent it to you. I just want to see if I can actually get the big one up. So it's been very big news this week, Sporka, hasn't it? And very unfortunate for some.
Yep.
Did
1,000
I
people.
send you the screenshot or did I send you the actual link?
No, you sent me a screenshot.
Okay, hang on then. Do you want to say what the news article is?
Okay, so as everybody may or may not know already, Fortnite maker Epic Games are laying off 1,000 more staff.
Which is just ridiculous.
So, I think it's like 20% of their staff or something.
Is that how much what does it say in the article? Because I think it does say in there.
Yeah, I think it was 20% or something.
Because this is just basically what Fortnite have done, or Epic Games. They're also stopping things like rocket racing as well in order to recuperate costs. Because they're saying everything. We spoke about this the other week during a different article, and they're trying to bring the cost back because they're saying that everything's more expensive. However, maybe if you stop paying people like Dwayne Johnson ridiculous sums of money for his likeliness, you might actually be able to afford to run the game. A massive gripe with the game at the moment is a lot of fans of the game are complaining, especially on console, that the game is simply not stable enough. There's lag all over the place.
Especially this season it's just completely unstable. Like on average, we game on the PlayStation, and the amount of times that we have to restart the game in an evening is not even funny.
Well, you do. I don't have to do it anywhere near as much as you.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, it's just getting absolutely ridiculous, and they've introduced, as we already know, there is bots in lobbies. We spoke about this again. You can go onto a Discord and it's showing you, and we've been using it, and it's showing us there's 75 bots in a lobby out of 99 players. We're 4 of those players. So you've got 21 bots, 22 bots. Oh, I can't be able to do the math. No, I'm going to do it now. 21 minus what? 20 bots in a lobby.
No, 20 other real players.
Yeah, sorry, 75 bots, 20 other players in a lobby of 100 players. That's just ridiculous. So it's also Fortnite, since the end of the pandemic, let's say, their player base has slowly declined, which is to be expected because people go back to work and then they realise that they're spending way too much money on a game. But the fact that you've got entire AI lobbies, the fact that they're paying ridiculous sums to Kim Kardashian, Dwayne Johnson, all the stuff. They did the Back to the Future. They're doing the Looney Tunes. I doubt Warner Brothers gave them that for free.
Yeah.
So maybe if you wasn't spending so much money, you wouldn't have to lay off 1,000 members of staff. Their CEO actually came out and said it's not performance based. It's because we had to just let people go. Were they playing the lottery with like the people's livelihoods?
Pretty much.
I just find it so ridiculous. Sweeney's note, the Sweeney is the CEO, published on Epic's website, said the latest round of layoffs, so the latest, which means there's going to be more, in addition to $500 million, which is £373 million, don't know what it is in euros, of identified cost savings across other parts of its operation, would put the company in a more stable place. Again, in fact, I'm going to really quickly Google this. How much?
Did The Rock get paid by
Yeah,
Epic?
Yeah. How much did Dwayne Johnson? I bet it's not disclosed.
Probably not.
Get paid, but it's under the table. Epic, right? Based on. They haven't actually said how much is being paid.
Yeah.
The former. Fuck off.
What?
It's rumored around $100 million.
Yeah.
That's just ridiculous. I'm sorry, but you can't be laying off 1,000 people when you've just paid The Rock a ridiculous sum of money like that. And let's face it, it's not that much to run a single lobby. Like, stop using the bots. Stop paying so much for data processing centers that need to utilize AI in order to get the bots, because they do snipe you from across the map. We've got videos of them using last season's arc gun through a mountain, where they shoot you around corners. There's loads of videos on YouTube. Stop using so many bots. We don't mind a couple of minutes extra wait time to get into a lobby if you're going to be facing real players.
Or at least if they're going to put bots in, make them realistic.
Yeah. Just don't make them stupid.
Landon, you parachute in beside a guy and he's got a full loadout.
Yeah. When they load and they've got a shotgun. Beans is just a chat thing, but bearing in mind this is the second time he's appeared in Fortnite.
Oh yeah,
that
is a valid point, Beans.
So how much are they paying him? And they're laying off 1,000 people.
Yeah, that could be like Epic, 200 million quid.
They've got rid of game modes like Epic Rocket Racing and stuff like that. So, and they're still struggling. You know what? This is how do companies get away with this? You can't piss around with 1,000 people's livelihood, 1,000 people's jobs, 1,000 people's general life.
Yep.
You can't mess around with that. Use money as an excuse when you're paying people so much money just to try and keep the game. When in 2016, was that when Fortnite was released?
Yeah, I think it's 10 years old this year.
When was Fortnite released? I think it's 2017. It was released, yeah, July 25th, 2017. So when in 2017, when it was first released, was you earning $3 billion a year, something like that?
They probably at the height of Fortnite. I wonder how much revenue Epic was taking in.
Yeah, they did. Their revenue has dropped. However, are you taking the piss? So, they've just laid off to make 500 million. That's how much they needed to make back into the company. On average, they generate roughly 5 to 6 billion in annual revenue.
Yeah.
Just let that sink in a little bit.
That's not the first time in in 2023, they got rid of like 830 people.
Yeah.
Which was 16% of their workforce at the time.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but this needs to. There has to be something that says you can't do this. Surely you can't just. The CEO he's only telling me Sweeney. I can't remember his first name.
Tim
is worth 7.6 billion. However, it estimates his estate and everything he's got and stuff totals 9.6 billion.
Yep. It's just sick money. It's just that's all they're in for is just to make money for the high people and the shareholders.
Yeah, but it's got nearly 10 billion.
Yeah. That's literally all they're making is for like the top guys, the guys who sit in the big office upstairs. That's all they're in it for is to make money for them. And it doesn't matter whose lives they ruin on the way to it. It's the same at every big company.
I get that there has to be a profit margin. I get that companies are in it to make money because otherwise people just wouldn't do it. However, to lay off 1,000 people when you're the one ruining the games in the first place by adding bots, by paying people stupid amounts of money, by not developing your servers for the player base so you end up with tons of lag, bugs, and all sorts all over the game. Stop spending so much money on AI bots. Stop spending money on so many servers. Stabilize the game. Stop spending a shit ton of money on stupid collabs that most people don't actually want. If you do want them, great, good for you. I doubt that 100% of the player base actually wants them. There's a lot of collabs on there that I wouldn't want. There's a lot of collabs I don't have, as you know, Sporka.
Yeah, there's a lot of collabs that I do want, and there is one coming this week that I'm going to be getting, but that's for another time.
Yeah, stabilize your game, sort it out. Think back at your foundations where you came from. Stop rigging events, such as the current rigged event, which is just ridiculous.
I
Stop
wonder how much
taking
the Foundation are winning by today.
Stop taking away people's points. You know what? Just Epic, sort your game out, sort your company
Yeah.
out. Is my
Just go off and have a word with yourselves, lads.
Yeah. Have a cup of tea.
Yeah.
And just
Little
look into the
chats.
cup of tea. Just look into the tea. Because have you ever stared into a cup of tea? You go into a really deep thought path.
Yeah.
That's just have a cup of tea, stare into the cup of tea for a few minutes, look at where you want to be, look at where you've come from. Never forget where you come from, because that
Yeah.
seems to be what they've done. They've forgotten how it all started. They've moved
They
on.
forgot what they
They've
made
got
their money
greedy.
on in the first place.
Yeah, basically. We had the same problem with Rocket League, where it was just basically AI enemies in the middle of tournaments where they could curve balls around the entire field, and it didn't even the ball didn't go over the line, but they were still getting the goal, or we would score and it just would bounce back out the net, and you'd go, what? Anyway, so that one was that story. Yeah, that's so depressing. Epic, just take a long hard look at yourself. Did you want to do? Was it the Meta story? Sporker was the other one.
Yeah, the Meta and Google one.
So Meta told to pay 375 million. That one?
No.
No, hang on then.
Meta and YouTube found liable in landmark social media addiction trial.
Yes,
First one you
the
sent me.
addiction one. They're in a weird order. Give me a second.
It was the very first one you sent me on Discord.
Yeah, the first one I sent you was the Fortnite one.
No, it's the link that you sent me above that.
Link. So it's on Discord. So that's why I'm looking through my gallery. That's probably why I can't see it. Hang on, bear with me. Let me get the article up. Yeah, there it is. I got it. Cool. Right. So this story from BBC News, wrote on the 25th of March at 7:30 by loads of people. Fuck me. Kelly Hayes, technology reporter Nadine Sard, and Regan Morris, Los Angeles. Right. Meta and YouTube found liable in landmark social media addiction trial. In Los Angeles, jury has handed down an unprecedented win for the young woman who sued Meta and YouTube over her childhood addiction to social media. So, Facebook and Google know exactly how to get people into billions and billions of dollars have been researched this, how to get people addicted to their social media.
Yeah.
They know it and they know how to manipulate the system. So, jurors found that Meta, which owns Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp, and Google, owner of YouTube, internationally built addictive social media platforms that harm the 20-year-old's mental health, which is true.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of children, there is a condition recognised in the UK, it's a general condition, I'm guessing it's going to be a global condition then, where it's a gaming addiction syndrome, where basically children were playing so many games throughout the days and stuff like that, they became dependent on playing these games. When you play games, by the way, for mental health and people who might not know this, when you achieve something in a game, you get a release of dopamine from the brain.
Yeah.
When you go for a jog, it's the same dopamine that gets released. When you take
Yeah.
crack cocaine, it's the same dopamine that gets released in the brain. That's why it's so addictive. That's why you get sports addiction. It's why you get drug addiction. It's why you become addicted to games. It's that reward response. Microtransactions, epic. Microtransactions, again, give you a really quick burst of dopamine because suddenly you get something. You get a new skin, you get a new
Yeah.
weapon, you get a new item. Even if it's purely cosmetic, you're still getting a reward. You become addicted to it. You show off to your friends. It creates peer pressure. That's how Facebook, the likes of Facebook, the likes of Google, created this addiction. They'll give you rewards. You'll have Meta rewards. You Meta have a thing called Meta Horizons, and it gives you point systems on it. Google has Google Play rewards, which is a point system. The more you spend, the more points you get, the more in inverted commas rewards you'll get. So it does become addictive, and that dopamine response does create a mental health addiction to it. And both the companies knew that this was the case already. Like I say, billions of dollars have gone into this, and nobody was particularly regulating it. I know that a lot of this isn't said in the article that I've just said, Sporka, but I've worked in mental health for a long time, and I've seen it happen to many, many people, and it is not easy to come out of it. You get the same type of withdrawal where you're shaking, you don't know when your next fix is going to be, essentially. Um, I'm just literally scrolling down. So they've been described as addiction machines by. I'm not going to say the person's name. The name is in the article, but I don't really want to say it.
Of
They're
the
lawyers.
person who,
Yeah,
the
who sued them.
person, the woman that sued them.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not a real name. It's a alias that they use. Kaylee.
yeah. Yeah, they used radius.
It's
Okay.
the woman known as Kaylee. They hid her identity.
Oh, that's fine then.
Yeah.
As for Kaylee's lawyers, they argued that Meta and YouTube had built an addiction machine, which they had, and they know it. It's the same. They use the colours, they use subliminal messaging on there, they use all sorts. So the verdict found that the company sends an unmistakable message that no company is above accountability. So that's what they've said happens. The head of Instagram that her longest single day of use on the platform stretched to 16 hours. Is that it? Noob.
That's in one day.
No, no, no.
There's only
Um,
24 hours in a day, so she got up after sleeping for 8 hours and was just constantly on.
yeah, constantly on a phone. Yeah. Facebook runs in the background on your phone as well. Actually, you can't not look at Facebook. It just, in fact,
That's
when
because
I
it's
went
constantly
to,
listening to you.
yeah, it is. Oh, we know that. When me and Sporka do this podcast, we talk about certain things on the podcast. After this podcast, every week we start getting adverts on
Yeah.
Facebook and things for what we spoke about on the podcast. Even though we haven't Googled it even if we haven't typed it into Facebook or we haven't typed it into Google, we'll still get adverts on Facebook for it.
You know, it's even weirder. I was having a conversation on Discord during the week,
Yes, I remember
and
this. Yeah,
we mentioned something on it, and the very next reel that came up on Facebook was
yeah,
the exact thing that we were talking about.
that happened before as well, didn't it? When I said something to you, and then I sent you the screenshot, and you went, "It's listening." It
it
does
is.
happen. It stores cookies on your phone about what you're talking
Like
about, and then that
I
ends
was
it.
like varnishing a table last week, and I was talking about it to somebody, and then like all the
Yeah,
ads on Facebook and stuff for like different types of deck varnish and stuff.
yeah. It does. Everything listens to you, and it shouldn't do, but it does. The
Yep.
minute you press "I agree" to their terms and conditions, the problem is they know about peer pressure. If
Yep.
all somebody's friends have got this certain platform or this certain thing, they're not going to click no, which means that they can't use that thing. They're not even going to read it. They're just kids are going to click it. Adults are going to click it. I don't read all the terms and conditions. I do. Um,
I don't.
I read most of them because I go, hang on, what the feck is this? Same as Facebook owns all your pictures and stuff. If you've ever put a picture on Facebook, Facebook owns it,
Yeah.
which is wrong. Facebook can do whatever they like with that picture, and there's nothing you can do. You have, oh God, you've got publishers' rights and you've got artistic license behind it. However, Facebook can use it in any of their own advertisements and stuff like that, and
Yeah, I knew that.
unless it's a child. They can't do it if it's a child. That's a different law. But children shouldn't actually be on Facebook without parental permission, and in the
Well,
UK now you have
Facebook
to be over
don't allow
16.
people under the age of 13, apparently.
16 in the UK now.
No, they don't let people under it's a legal thing in countries that they're restricted to 16, but Facebook have it limited that you have to be under over
It
13 before you're allowed to have a
I can't remember if it's 16 with parental permission or the 13 with parental permission or 16 without, something like that. I genuinely can't remember, and it's all changed in the
during
UK anyway.
during Mark Zuckerberg's appearance before the jury. Meta's chairman and chief executive relied on his company's long-standing policy of not allowing users under the age of 13 on any of its platforms.
Let me tell you something.
When
Look,
presented with internal research and documents showing that Meta knew young children were in fact using its platform, Zuckerberg says he always wished for faster progress to identify users under 13. He
when
insisted the
someone's
company has
posted a
reached the right
selfie,
place.
when someone's posted a selfie saying, "Look at me and my friend at this concert," and it's CBBS in the background, how much more
Yeah. No,
identification do you need?
that's what it said. Like they done a small investigation.
Yeah.
Like they didn't even
Uh,
do an in-depth investigation.
You might as well have a status update that says "First day at nursery, can't
Yeah.
wait."
And
FML.
Snapchat and TikTok were initially defendants in the case, but both companies reached an undisclosed settlement with
Yeah.
Katie prior.
You know what? A lot of people give TikTok a bad name. However, recently, their safety towards children online, their safety towards bullying online, they've
Yeah,
done a
it's
hell of
changed
a
a
lot.
lot.
They've
Yeah,
really
they've done
come
a
up.
lot of work.
They're not perfect, and
No,
they're never going to be perfect. You can't have a
but at least
perfect
they're trying to
society.
fix it.
Yeah. Whereas Facebook are
They're
just
not just
denying it.
ignoring it.
Yeah. I think they've done a hell of a lot, including messaging me repeatedly at 3 o'clock in the morning to use face identification to verify my age. Wasn't happy about that, but still. Otherwise, they would have suspended the PBTC account on TikTok. So I had to
So
quickly.
the girl
Yeah,
started using to obsess over her physical appearance and began using Instagram filters that would change the way she looked, making her nose smaller and her eyes bigger almost as soon as she started using the platform as a child.
yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say earlier. I think I first got Facebook when I was about 11. I don't know. No, I would have had MySpace, wouldn't I?
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure I got Facebook shortly after it first come out, though. And was it 2001? Facebook came out.
I'm not sure.
I'm just gonna Google it. Jesus, 2004. Facebook first come
Yeah.
out. So, yeah, I would have never broken their terms and conditions. Neither would have you. But
No,
still,
I definitely wouldn't have.
yeah. But I did have like MySpace and Bebo and MSN Messenger and AOL Messenger and all that sort of stuff. Uh, when I was
I only
slightly younger.
started using Facebook first when like a group of my friends went traveling in Australia.
Well, that's what I said about
keep
peer
in
pressure.
contact, like.
Yeah, you
No,
wouldn't
that's
have
just
said
so as
no.
we could all keep in contact, like.
Yeah, I'm not saying that they're purposely peer pressuring you, saying, "Oh, get Facebook, get Facebook." There's a social peer pressure where
Yeah.
everybody's got it, so you feel pressured to get it.
It's just like a fear that you're gonna miss out on something. I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
most people's fears. Like if you've got like a group of friends and they all go to the pub, you always like get a bit jealous of hearing like the great stories they have at night after if you haven't been in the pub. Like
yeah. Essentially, yeah. You don't want to miss out. That's where the social peer pressure comes in.
yeah,
Facebook and Google are fully aware of this. Anyway, so yeah, that was the story about the Facebook and Google being sued and losing. So good. Hopefully they'll upgrade their systems and hopefully they try and prevent this. We've had really bad stuff happen because of social media presence. I'm not going to
yeah,
say the word because it's a word that YouTube really doesn't like, but in terms of the ending of life, let's say,
yeah.
um, it's yeah, it unfortunately, and don't forget YouTube are owned by Google, so we are kind of saying
Yeah.
Google, sort yourself out. And there are good things that come from it. YouTube is an incredible educational site. You can find out a lot of information on there. You can watch documentaries on there. You can find global news on there. You can, if you use it in the correct way, it is a brilliant resource to be used. So is Facebook. It's a brilliant way of keeping in touch with friends that may have moved. My sister has recently moved country, as you are fully aware. I've
Mhm.
got friends all over the world that have moved out that I've met at uni. They've gone home and stuff like that. Brilliant way to stay in touch, brilliant way to share photos, brilliant way to connect with people through various groups on Facebook and stuff like that. Used incorrectly, which it was in this case, where Facebook have manipulated it, created that environment, it's also an incredible, powerful weapon. So it's just about finding that balance, really, I think. Shall we end the podcast there, Sporker?
Yes, I think we should.
Good. Right. Thank you very much for everybody that's listening. Thank you very much to everybody that has commented. Remember to leave a comment and a like on our YouTube videos and our TikTok videos and stuff like that. Remember, we have started randomly streaming games during the week as well. So subscribe to us so you can get a nice notification that says we are now streaming. Where you will meet Mary, she streams with us. You'll meet Bean, she
Yeah.
sometimes streams with us. You might meet Bat, who sometimes streams with us. Remember to check out our other channels. So we've got the Facebook, the Instagram, the YouTube, the TikTok, the Twitch, the Twitter, the Discord at discord.gg/TGS39DNUB3. Remember to Blue Sky. Remember you can also listen and watch this podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, and Amazon Podcast or Music, whatever the hell it's called. Remember to leave a little like. Remember to leave a comment on there. Remember to just give us 5 stars. Just come on.
Yeah.
Go on.
Be nice.
You know you want to. Go on. And remember, you could also donate to us at streamlabs.com/pressback to continue 3/tip. We get 100% of the donation using that link. We don't get 100% if you donate anywhere else. So it's something like 40% by the time everything's been paid out
Yeah.
for it. Anyway, I've been Loanzism. We hope you enjoyed the Easter special.
And I've been Sporka, and don't get sick from eating so much chocolate.